Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to make a turtle neck hoodie with this pattern. We'll start with a foundation chain of an even number. Start off with a slip stitch. You put this end below the continuing yarn and you pull a loop. Okay, my client's size is 30 chains, so I'll do that. I have done a foundation chain of 60 chains, not 30. And you're going to do a foundation chain of whatever length you desire. Okay, once you do that, you want to straighten the foundation chain to ensure that it is not twisted. Once you have that, you connect using a slip stitch. You connect both ends using a slip stitch, like so. And then you chain two. So we'll start our first row, which will be a double crochet throughout the chain. So you'll have 60 double crochets. Okay, double crochet is yarn over, you pull a thread, then you have 3 loops, then you remove 2, you have 2 remaining, you yarn over again and remove the remaining 2. We'll do that again. You remove 2, yarn over, remove 2. So this marks the second. This one does not count as a chain. Okay, this is 2 chains. So you'll repeat this pattern until you'll repeat this pattern through all this chain, and you should have 60 half double crochet exclusive of the turning chain. So I'll meet you once you go round and have 60 double crochet. So this is my final half double crochet. Let us ensure that the 60 half double crochet exclusive of these 2 chains. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 60. So they are 60. Ensure that whatever number of chains you've used on your foundation chain is its equivalent of the half double crochet. So to connect, you're going to put your needle at remember these are the 2 chains that we did. So you're going to put your needle here and pull a yarn, then connect using a slip stitch, and then you're going, every row you start a new row with 2 chains, which does not count as a chain when you're counting the half double crochet. Okay, so in your second row you are still using the double crochet, but you're not going to sew on the chains. You're going to use front post and back post, alternating between front post and back post. Okay, so we'll start with the front post. We'll start with the front post double crochet, and then continue with a back post double crochet. This again, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. You can slow down your video so that you can get exactly how I'm doing this. I'll try zooming in. So you yarn over, then put your needle so that you have this post like this, your initial double crochet in the front of your needle, then pull a yarn. Okay, now you have 3. Remove 2, yarn over, then remove the rest of the 2. That's the double crochet. You yarn over again, and then you pull your needle in front like that, so that you have the post, the initial double crochet behind here. Then you pull a yarn, and that counts as a back post. And you continue throughout the project of the second row. Okay, it's very easy once you get a hang of it. It can be a little bit confounding for the beginners, but once you practice, it becomes easy. So you just alternate the back post and front post double crochet throughout the second row, and I'll meet you once you're done. I show you how we're going to continue in the third row. So this will be this is how it's looking like as you continue. I'm in my final back post. Once you complete your final back post, if you started with the front post, chances are you'll finish with the back post because they're even numbers. That is the importance of using, that is why it is important to start with a foundation chain that is ultimately an even number, something that is divisible by 2. Okay, so once you finish that, you ensure that you have alternated, because sometimes you'll find that you've repeated a front post or a back post. Once you ensure everything is okay, mine is okay, you repeat what you did in the first row. You put your needle, you connect the rows with the slipping stitch, and then you chain 2. Once you chain 2, you continue with your pattern. If you started with the front post double crochet, you continue with the front post double crochet. Then if you started with the back post double crochet, you continue with the front post double crochet. Then with the front post, yeah. So I start now I continue the front post double crochet, then I continue with the, and then I alternate it with the back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. And again, the importance of this pattern is it's gonna give you this straight row, back post, front post, back post, front post. You see, it gives a really beautiful textured pattern, and that is what you want for your project. So you're going to continue with the same pattern until you have the length that you want for your neck. I'll come back and tell you how many rows that is. That will be for mine. Okay, front post, wherever a front post is, a back post, wherever a back post is. Don't forget to connect every row with a slip stitch, and then chain 2, then continue with your pattern until you have the length that you want. So I'll come back once I have the length, and I'll tell you how many rows I have done. Okay? Now, I am about to complete this row. So when I take my measurements, you'll see I have about 20 inches. And I have 20 rows. So you'll make the amount of rows that you want. For me, I wanted the 20 centimeters. So let us complete this together and I'll show you what you need to do next. As usual, you do your front post, back post, double crochet. Then you complete it with a slip stitch, like so. Secure. You can weave in your ends now. Or you can weave them in later. Or you can weave them in later. When you look at where the slip stitch, you will see that the pattern is a little bit different from the rest of the pattern. So where you've been doing your slip stitches, you will turn your project like so that it's behind. And in the exact opposite from where you're doing your slip stitches, you will start your project. You will start the next row from there. So this is here. If you want, you can count so that you have a perfect project, but it doesn't have to be so perfect, so I will not count. So you start the next row, you are working on the hooded area. So you can do a slip stitch and chain 1 to secure, but I like using a knot because then I know that the project will not unravel. So you chain 2 to start your first row for them. Once you have your 2 chains, we will work on the next row using double crochet. So if you remember my numbers, you remember that we started the project with a foundation chain of 60, and that the back post and front posts, we have an equivalent of 60 back post and front post double crochet. So now in this next row, we are going to do a double crochet of 6. Then on the sixth row, we will increase, so we'll have a double crochet. So what do I mean? This is what I mean. One normal double crochet in every chain. 2, 3, 3, 1 2 3, 4, 5. Then on your 6, you're going to do 2 double crochet in the same place. Then you'll continue in the same way. 1, 2, 4, 5. On the 6th, you do 2 double crochets in the same place. And then once you finish with the round, you will have a total of 10 increases. That is 60 divided by 10. 60 divided by 6, you'll have 10 increases. So you'll work a number that is divisible by 10 on the number of chains that you've done. So I'll meet you once we have completed. Once you reach here, I'll show you what to do. So once you reach the end, instead of finishing your work with a slip stitch like we've been doing, you will leave this part open, because this is where the hooded part of the project begins. So now what you want to do is chain 2, then turn your project. We will start with the back post, front post pattern again. So you will choose what you want to do. So for example, I want to start with the back post. No, I want to start with the front post, sorry. So this is front post double crochet, back post, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and I'll continue alternating them, the post, until I reach here, and I'll show you what to do next. This row. So the next one is our back post double crochet, then in this last one you want to do an increase so that we have more room for the hooded area. So you do that by doing 2 double crochet in the same area, okay, like so. Then you chain 2 and turn your project. In the next row, you're going to look at your project and see how your pattern goes. You have to ensure that you follow with the pattern. If this is a front post, you continue with the front post. If this is a back post, you continue with the back post. Front post, you continue with the front post. So since this is a front post, this is supposed to be a back post, and this is a front post. So I'll continue my double crochet with the same pattern. So this is a back post, so that this continues with the back post. And I'll continue like that all round, alternating between a front post and a back post. Then once I reach here, I do the double crochet again and continue alternating, following with the patterns. So I'll do my increase until I have the amount of rows that I want. I'll come back once I have the number and let you know how I have done an increase of how many rows, and I'll show you how to continue from there. Okay, so continue with your project and we will meet once I have my rows. So I am done with my increase. We have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have done a total of 12 rows. So I'm about to conclude. Now going forward, we will not, in the next a couple of rows, we will not do an increase. So instead of doing 2 double crochet in this area, that was an indication of the increase, we are going to just do 1, like so. Okay, and then you're going to chain 2, then turn your project. And then you're going to continue with your pattern. If this was a back post, you'll continue the back post. If this is a front post, you're going to continue with the front post, a back post, front post, front post. Just ensure you continue with your pattern all through. So for example, you chain 1, sorry, and then you do the front post, then you continue with the back post. And you will continue like this, back and forth, without doing the double crochet, 2 double crochet increase at the end of your project. You'll just now continue with just 2 chains, then turn your project. 1 double crochet, 2 chains. You'll continue with your back post, front post, 2 chains, back and forth. So I will meet you once I'm in this end so that I can show you again what I have done, and then let you know what you're going to do from there. Okay, so I'm about to finish this row. It finishes with the front post, double crochet. So like I said, in this row we are not going to do 2 double crochets that indicates an increase. We're just going to do the 2 chains. One thing I've noticed is that if you do your 2 chains like this, as the project goes up, it will look sort of a front post. So to save yourself from that confusion of a pattern, I will encourage you to do your 2 chains on top of the 2 chains. For example, you see these are the 2 chains. So you do your 2 chains here so that it is 1 and 2. This ensures that this pattern is on top of each other, as opposed of creating some sort of a front post or a back post pattern. Just ensure you do your 2 chains on top of the other 2 chains. Okay, then you turn your project. Another thing that I should note that is that my client does not like the big cuddly projects for her sweaters. She prefers her sweaters, her crochets a little bit tight. So for these ones, I have done less foundation chains and lace pattern, so that it is so close, it is tight around her neck and her ears. Most clients prefer bigger projects, so that the sweaters are not so tight onto their skin. But for my client, she preferred very tight project. That's why I've done a smaller number. So I'd encourage you to do more numbers. You can do a foundation chain of, let's say, 70, 75, 70, 76, and then you do your increase from there. And then you can also ensure that the increase go for longer rows, so that this one can even fold like twice. This one will only fold once, is requested by my client. Okay, so in the next row we'll continue exactly what you've done in this row. We'll just do the front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and then 2 chains on top of the 2 chains until we have the height that we prefer. Then I'll come back to show you how we finish off the project. Okay, see you then. I have completed the project, and since my client wants a tighter project, I have made fewer rows, but you can increase this row. You can make them say 30 or 40 rows. I have done a total of 20 rows. So to complete your project, this is what you want to do. You want to connect the corner, this corner with this corner, and pull a loop. Then you also want to take the end of this project with the end of this project and do a slip stitch. You can also decide to do a single crochet, but a slip stitch of this end and this end is what I have decided to go with in this project. You can decide to do a single crochet. You can also decide to do a single, you can also decide to yarn on both loops. Both ways gives a neat finish to the project. So you continue with your slip stitches until you reach the end of the project.